Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel here today. Today we're going to be watching an amount of episodes of Flip Flappers and we're very excited to be back in the Flip Flappers Pure Illusion universe. Let's say that. That's a good intro, sure. Much like last week, my timing here is a little bit off. I guess there'll be an update video eventually. You'll see what's going on. It's fine. So I'm unsure of how much time I'll have, how much I'll have to talk about episode 3. Thus, I want to give this show its props. I don't want to promise anything that I can't fulfill. Therefore, it's an amount of episodes. Maybe one, might be two. We'll see. I really want to do two though, I really do. But yeah, we're back. Flip Flappers. The best way to start a video is to pop over to the YouTube comments. As always, if you're a Patreon, you can leave a YouTube comment for me and I'll read it and analyze it and stuff. There's some particularly good comments here today as well. One from Lazy Joe and one from Sal. So yeah, let's dive in first here with Lazy Joe's comment. Basically centered around the name of the rabbit. Yukuskill? Yukuskill? Something like that. Again, I'm not German. I don't speak German, and I don't speak the Japanese pronunciation of the German that they're doing in the anime either. So again, I'm trying my best here. But either way, Yukuskill, German biologist Jacob von Yukuskill, that's who the rabbit is named after. So that's pretty pointed. Potentially I should look into some other names if they're particularly weird and what they may be referencing and that kind of thing, because this was overall pretty interesting, right? I ended up looking up a bunch of stuff about it, but I digress. I think this is the best summary of it regardless. I've read the Wikipedia page and this kind of gets the gist of why this would be relevant to this story, I would say. And that is the main idea of the Umwelt, which is the concept that each kind of animal or living organism has its own subjective way of perceiving the world through their senses. Now, again, this seems pretty obvious to me now, but again, academics are good at that kind of stuff, right? They establish these ideas that, again, kind of take for granted now, I would say. So again, this may not have been as obvious back in the day, because again, I think this was around the turn of the century, like way ages ago, right? This also, part of it was used as a method to prove something as a living creature. Again, this was kind of like a set of principles that was used to apply to like amoeba and like sea urchins and stuff, which like, are they like living things or are they not? It's like, obviously now we know that they are living things, but again, basis on the work of Yukuskill here. The example we go with here is a jellyfish is going to experience the world differently than a rabbit or a human. This episode's pure illusion certainly looks like what Kokona's rabbit's subjective experience of being trapped in a vacuum cleaner would look like. Now, this is just fantastic, right? Because if this sets a precedent, we need to consider whose pure illusion each of these are. Does that make any sense? It seems like perspective is very important in this show. Potentially that's something that will come up a little bit later as well. Also, consideration of art and art from different perspectives is another one of the show's tenets, I would say, at the moment. So again, this just is, it fits in line with everything that's there currently already, I would say. Again, that begs the question of episode 1. Is that episode 1 potentially a view into Kokona a little bit, right? Is it her pure illusion? Is it her subjective view of what falling into this pipe and what a pure illusion even is, right? Is that why it's so cold? Is that why it's so snowy and so stoic and all these other things, right? But there's this raging beast hiding underneath. Maybe something like that, I don't know. Again, you can potentially apply that to this kind of thing, right? And I think the name itself for the rabbit also characterizes Kokona quite well. Again, I think she's very studious. I think that she's a studier, so her having an understanding of biology and knowing this guy's name and that kind of thing and giving it to her pet rabbit thing, that just makes sense. I think it's a cute character detail for her on a naming level. I think as a point of contrast, if Papika was the one that possessed the pet rabbit, I don't think it would be named Yukuskill. It would be named like Bunny Bun or something. Or something equally stupid. Either way, we continue here. The name briefly mentioned right there at the end was Thomason, right? Now, Thomason is being used as a noun in this kind of show, in this universe. I don't know why I struggled there, but anyway, it seems like it's the thing that makes the pure illusion happen in some respect. It was kind of at the very end of the episode and it was kind of weird. I didn't really understand it. But I think the most important part here and the fascinating part is the origins of the name, right? A Thomason, or a hyperart Thomason, is a concept invented by Japanese artist Akasagawa Genpei. Genpei? Genpei. In 1980, a preserved architectural relic which serves no purpose, like stairs that lead to nowhere, a bridge above a river that's no longer there, or an inaccessible door or ladder way too high on the side of a building, right? Now, I think that, yeah, this is very artsy. This is very, it's filled with meaning, man. It exists. It used to have a meaning, but now it possesses no meaning. What does it mean to have no meaning? Whoa, you kind of see how those concepts apply to Flip Flappers a little bit. I think that's kind of cool. Does it ultimately talk to the frivolousness of everything that's going on here? The lack of bearing any of it has on the real world per se, right? Or any of these pure illusions. Are they merely just pieces of art that stand by themselves that don't really have anything else applied to them? There's no practical use to any of it. It's all internal, right? But again, the practical use in of itself is the artistic merit of it, so that's an interesting conversation to have, and something that I would have liked to, again, investigate myself. I got to look out for these proper nouns in the future as well. Again, this story here about the origins of the name Thomason as well is quite interesting, coming from Gary Thomason, a baseball player that signed with the Yomiuri Giants for a large sum of money, but never scored a point, never hit a ball or whatever. I don't know if he was a pitcher or a hitter or anything like that. Essentially, he was frivolous. He didn't have a point. He was moot. You know. So again, you could see that applies to this artistic idea, I would say. So yeah, very interesting comment there from Lazy Joe. And yeah, just we have Sal here rounding us out, shouting out Yuke's skill again, the only superhero I need. I think his character design in those episodes is hilarious, objectively. I think it's very good. Very action hero, potentially even falling into the lava, a little bit of Terminator 2 in that too. It's kind of fun, at least a little bit. So yeah, hey, shoutouts Flip Flappers. We're going to watch episode 3 here first and foremost. I have the rest of them downloading down here as well. So again, if you see any pop-ups, that's probably why. But yeah, first and foremost, let's pop over to Patreon and check out those Patreons and shout them out. As always, if you are a Flip Flappers head and would love to see the next video a week early, the Patreon is for you. You can go there and pay me $6 and you can watch it. Again, and along with everything else on the channel, it's up there a week early. Double votes in polls. There will be some polls upcoming too. Don't get it twisted. There may already be some on the channel if you're watching this publicly. Just have a squiz if you wanted to. Either way, shout these people out, starting with Mickey Babbers, Charles++, Acromancer, Bobbin, Chobo Ribby, Dapper Dwarf, Domobot, Ichu, Ed, Fancy Question Mark, Fleur Nightingale, Fruit, Gloriana Tenebrae, Glyke, Greybeard, Gus N, Heath, Ika, Yanko Yavanen, Jacob R, Joran, Kelvin, Clem, Nosta, Cont Begemot, Lou, Max, Mistake L Chen, Nelu, Need, Parnik, Pencil Sharp 333, Ragashingo, Ronlad BNK, Saint Lily, Sal, Sam1373, Skeleton, Voeko, Without a Net, Zan Echo, Yuki Ali, Zach, Binchi, Hans Peter, Marsh, Voodoo Chili, Aiden O'Brien, and Kim Skill. Thank you to all those people for giving me money. Again, Flip Flappers is a very episodic show. We're kind of jumping into the next pure illusion as of now. It seems like after the first 2 episodes, Papika and Kokona overall are on better terms, on the same page, whatever you want to say there. Dr. Salt is a guy. It seems like he's in control of everything to a level we can't even perceive right now. Seems like he almost wanted Papika to escape and collect Kokona, right? Again, it's all important about getting these little fragments or whatever to build imagination or whatever he said. Rebuild, reclaim imagination, something like that. So, seems evil or good. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, we'll see what happens. He seems odd. Again, keeping an eye on those side characters. There's the artist girl. There's Yayaka. There's the twins that haven't reappeared again. Lots of stuff. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, moving on here with episode 3 of Flip Flappers. Yeah, let's jump right in. Rightio, I have episode 3 of Flip Flappers up. They're ready to go. 23 minutes and 41 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly with your own copy. That copy is the Zang version on Nya, if you wanted to copy that exact version. If not, there's a picture-in-picture version in the description below for your viewing pleasure. Either way, let's give this thing a 3, 2, 1. Rightio, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, the desert. Very loud. Okay. Yeah, I remember it was kind of like a Mad Max-y thing it looked like from the preview. or the small segment of the preview I did watch. Sandy, desolate, lack of water. The ship is a nice touch. How about Kokona? Where's Kokona? There was a midget. Thoughts? I don't know. That opening's never gonna stop surprising me. I'd imagine that that start before the opening here is like a skip ahead, like, oh, this is the low point, and how did we get here? Now we're gonna flash back and see the first point where they came into the pure illusion or whatever. I mentioned it briefly last week, but I really do like this rain motif in this opening. I think it's quite nice. Again, like, you're specifically standing in the water where everybody else is trying to shield themselves from it. Even the two kids playing piano inside. Like they're not even, like, aware of the storm outside. And then this segment, it's very, like, dusky. There's, like, clouds in the sky and that kind of thing. I want to see if, like, these, like, two goobers can, like, communicate with us when we're in pure illusion. Like, be our, like, bridge crew or something. Yeah, and then, of course, the clear skies right here at the end. Did I mention this show's well animated? I think I may have a couple of times. Oh, maybe not. Interesting. It's these gang of, like, Star Wars dudes. Now, here's my thing. I didn't think that there was going to be, like, other characters exclusive to the Pure Illusions. You're like an alien. She's pretty scary looking, I don't know. Oh, thank you. Thank you, small child. Yeah, I don't know if I would have drank all the water all at once like that. Yeah, this is fascinating. Makes sense. Sure. The well. Any Haibane Renmei heads in chat? Oh, that's nice. A lot of character in those eyes, for sure. Yeah, very Mad Max. Very, very, very Mad Max. Fantastic. So these are like almost like two warring tribes or something. It's an amazing frame. I love this frame. Where's Kokona? Oh, where'd it go? Beautiful. Okay, here like the sand pirates or whatever they're called. Ugh. Desert sphincter isn't a good set of words. No! We need that! It's precious! Yeah, this is very Western as well. Yeah, dude. Like the lone wanderer comes into town and saves the day. Oh no, that's great. A little bit, yeah. It's meant to be cutesy sounding. I don't think you're going to have much success against Papika. She's pretty strong. Especially if she goes Super Saiyan, you're like fucked. It's a whole lot of taint. I don't want to see that. Oh, that fantastic. The zoom there. Schlanger. This sub is very funny. Is that guy drunk? Here she is. Great. The mask is awesome. Alright, what is Coconut doing? Or is it two sets of perspective, maybe? We'll see. Oh, great. Oh, how good's that? Fight for way longer, please, you two. How good's this? Even the framing here is awesome. Illusory Divine Fist. This got very epic very quickly. Yeah, very DBZ, for sure. That'll knock some sense into her, surely. What's going on, Coconut? Speak to me. Oh, you're being corrupted or something? Sure. I was forced to beat up my good friend. Of course, we must remember this. Ew. In context with the first couple of episodes and that kind of the character dynamic between these two. By that I mean gay. Damn, Papika's fucking dead. What? What? Me? Who? What do you mean, remember? Where are we? Okay, is this where you dropped? This is cool. Like in some fucking Pantheon shit. Okay, we got pretty horny pretty quickly. Sure. What are the masks about, guys? Alright, it's too much for the robot to handle. I mean, there's a certain subset of people that really enjoy that, so, you know. Alright, so that's what happened. Gotcha. For entertainment, of course. No, you brainwashed me. What? I don't... Okay. I don't think it's want to hurt Papika. There may be an ideological difference. Also, the robot's simping like crazy. I wouldn't fight this thing. Yeah, see, I'm not fighting that. We have saved Papika, though. Give her some water. She loves that shit. Give her some potatoes. This coconut stuff's very interesting, though. Oh, she's just hungry? Yeah, get her some potatoes, quick. Gave me a purpose. Ooh. Oh, the devil on the shoulder. Where's my angel? Quickly now. Oh, yeah, so, yeah, the inside of the thigh again. Here she is. Yeah, she's also very panty and stocking. You know the villain characters in that? She looks a lot like them. Devilish. It literally was a potato. Oh, it's a sweet potato. Hell yeah. Okay, I'm gonna feed you a superpowered sweet potato. And we're gonna defeat this devilish person. Oh, great. Yep. They're both Super Saiyaned, by the way. Oh! They literally said, okay, great. Hell fucking yeah. Yeah, straight up Sailor Moon. Sure. Go for it. The sound effects are great, too. Very explicit. Is that their designs from the opening? Seems as though it is. It seems I'm not incorrect. This is an anime that has seen other anime. This is a full minute of screen time devoted to a henshin, to a transformation sequence. I don't even know which one's which anymore. Because they kind of swap colors. Oh. Cute. The poses. What a sweet potato. Carrying. It seems like we're not landing a single strike. Please send help. Oh, what was that? My only frame of reference is Symphogear. Very Symphogear. Oh my god! Jesus. The set of influences here is fantastic. What are these things? Behind you! Team Rocket, head ass. Let's go. She literally hit us to fucking Saturn? Meatball Saturn? That was fascinating too. Oh, they're playing the song. I think we're about to win. This is just Symphogear. Except they're not singing. It's the only difference. Alright, we got a fucking super gun. Literally a beam fight. Is our beam going to be stronger? So what is that design on the monster? It's feral. Alright, we won. We destroyed the god. Oh, that's our planet. We live on the meatball. Sure. Alright, did we collect Fragment, which seems to be the main objective here? I would agree. That was so much fun. How good was that? Oh, Daisuke? Oh my god. Daisuke? I won't do it again, but you know. What? It's back? Send help? Who the fuck? Who are these freaks? This episode's fucking mental. Oh, you're the white-haired kids? And you're just you're Trigger. Hello, Trigger. Yeah, those are definitely like the white-haired kids. Thought so. Yeah. There we go. It happened, chat. No, quick grab it. No, it's ours. It was our kill. How did we henshin? I don't know. It just kind of happened. Excuse you? What? Who are those freaks? What is that? Yeah, this from the opening. So you work for these freaks. No, that's not her name. Disk drive? Turn it off. This shit's ridiculous. All praise the Megacorp. Yeah, what does Salt think about all that? What's the plan? Okay, he seems to have a plan. And yeah, every episode ends on that similar audio sting as well. I loved that. That was fantastic. Again, I said it during the reaction. The set of influences there is insane. It's part Western, it's part sci-fi, it's part magical girl, it's part almost classic hero's tale with this like devilish kind of person corrupting another of the protagonists, right? Almost, yeah, very classic, very Shakespearean almost. And then we smash it all together. We have this huge like action sequence at the end, and then the rest of the narrative outside of this one episode kind of impacts at the very end. Just a very interestingly told story there, and production. It's probably the most impressive episode production-wise thus far. Loved the transformation sequences. They both look fantastic. Again, I noted that they kind of swapped hair colors as well, which is just brilliant. We had like a giant space gun. It seems like Yayika's personality that we've seen thus far in the show has been a bit of a lie, because she seems pretty switched on in this, right? Does that talk to potentially why she's trying to possess Kokona a little bit? It looks like she was holding her arm in episode 2. Guess yeah, I'm gonna pause. Oh, I'm not gonna pause. We go way back. What? What? Oh, are you late home? Is your grandmother going to be worried? Is she playing the piano? What are you listening to? What a nice lady. Thank you. Sure. But I will pause it now. What even is that, though? What is this? What is this? What is this? What are you peering into? Anyway, I need to stop thinking about that. I had something I was going to say before the episode interrupted me by ending. Yeah, Yayika, I think is what I was talking about. Anyway, weird. I'm going to watch another one, I think. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to just bite the bullet and do it. So yeah, I'm going to watch another one now. We'll go back through and analyze the both of them after the fact. I think that's the best way to go. So yeah, let me bring up episode 4 for you. That should be good. Rightio, episode 4 up there, ready to go. Of course, we have Big Bro with the spanner, which is pretty cool. Don't really know what else is going on there, but there's Monogatari because I hit the wrong button. That's funny. Let's watch this thing. Same thing as normal, Zang on Nya, if you wanted to get your own copy that's similar to mine. That's probably the best way to do that. If not, picture-in-picture, description below. Let's give this thing a 3, 2, 1. Radio, 3, 2, 1, go. What is impedance? My feelings are too all over the place? Okay, we need to get as close as possible. I would agree. I see. Cute pout, I like that. Oh, an actual uniform. Okay, for us matching too, of course. Alright, settle down. How? Is Paprika going to move in with Kokona? I guess. No, that makes a lot of sense, because again, one of the major kind of... I guess the major story of episode 3 was the kind of... still that lingering difference between Kokona and Paprika. They came together again to defeat that threat. By eating the sweet potato, they matched their feelings, right? But there's still things we're not being honest with each other about, and as we grow closer and closer together and learn more about each other, we're going to get stronger and stronger. As opposed to Yayuka and that gang, who seem pretty forthright and on the same page and almost militant in their approach. So, again, makes perfect sense that they're not quite strong enough yet. I want to know what Yayuka's deal is. I feel like Kokona's important, right? Remember grabbing onto the arm. I'm keeping in mind as well that like almost first scene we saw with Kokona, her like dream before she wakes up, where she's on the boat. Also, again, that blue-head character that's lying dead. I don't know what's happening at the start of the show, but that too. Kokona's interesting. What's going on there? Apparently Yayuka and Kokona go way back. Are these fake memories or some shit? Whoa. Maybe. Cute. Oh, you guys sleeping over? Okay, so you're packing a bag to go to Paprika. Intimately? Hey, yo. Sleep in the same bed? What? This guy's a weirdo. I do love the fit, though. It's like overalls with a lab coat. I see, because you remembered real life? Few days. Hey, I don't have to pay for food for a little bit. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, how do they have money? What is the... Anyway. Don't think about it. I think the Nan might be fake, too. We'll see. Fake Nan alert? What's keeping you up at night? Oh, yes, great. This dream. Show me more. The same girl on the boat down the river. Any more? You gonna give me any more than that? No, still on the boat. Good. For me, it was like welcome back from death. You know? That's the kind of vibe I got the first time. Tree mouth? True. Cool. I don't know about tree mouth. What does that mean? Hello, Paprika. She's very athletic. Kneading her up. Classic. Camp. Oh, great. Yep, the distinction. Whatever you say, it's a sleepover. Very K-On! Almost. Every time they go on a camp, it's just a glorified sleepover. Oh, they love her. Celebrity status. Did you check inside the desk for her? She's not going to be there. She's not at the sick bay. True. It's funny that you knew exactly who we were looking for as well. Same painting. I like this painting. Who? What did we trip on? Oh, hello, artist girl again. Are we doing like an art versus science thing as well? With Kokona? Maybe. Yeah, this seems pretty chill. Again, Haibane Renmei vibes. It's just comfy. Sure. Oh, clutch. It was very calm in there. I liked that. The music was great too. Okay, we're getting closer. Baby steps. This episode is characterized by incremental improvements, I would say. Oh, there she is. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to be nonchalant. Please. Oh, that's great. Okay. I have billions. Didn't answer. Okay. Well, you trying to recruit us? The Animatrix? Yeah, I don't like your crew's vibe. For the Amorphous. Come on, dude. Oh, well, that's bad. Okay, let's not do that. That's funny. No, I don't. Oh, same as the, Oh, she learned. Okay, bye. She went into the bridge door? I hate her. Jesus. Yeah, they just said, oh yeah, we're trying to dominate the world. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop that. They don't bluff well, is my point. Oh. Is this where our sleepover is going to be? I don't want to... Bro, I'm not crawling through there. The pillow sphincter. Oh, this looks nice, though. Okay, maybe I would. Ah! Oh. No, that's not his name. That's his name. Did you leave your bag out? Are we gonna need to share clothes or something? Oh, no, we're fine. Okay. Don't let Buchan anywhere near anybody's bag. Oh, we're finding dinner or something? Is that a Kiwi? Shout out to my New Zealand viewers. It's gotta be some of you, right? Probably. Finally, soup. Up bottoms. Oh, it's actually tasty. Okay, I feel like they're synchronizing. Just eat it. It looked like a kiwi. It must be edible. I'm eating it. Yep, they're just roughing it. Jesus Christ. This show isn't shy, I'll say that. Probably the least shy show I've watched since... What else that I've watched had a lot of fan service? Monogatari, I guess. What? There's an imposter among us? Alright, we finished showering together, that's good. We're just naked? Oh, one of us is. Sure. I sleep naked. Sure, whatever, fine. Are we gonna have a somber, contemplative moment? You must remember that there is an imposter among us, though. Still some distance, despite everything. Gotcha. Sure. Your thingo's wrong again. What are we doing now? Holy. Yeah, sick. Love the vibes this episode. We've been to 4 distinctive different locales in these episodes. Come on, we must synchronize. The little grip on the skirt there's great too. What? Oh, the surfboard? Oh, we're trapped on the deserted island? How did you let it happen that bad? What is that, shell or something on it? Big rock formation. It's not all about the exams. How about my loved ones? I don't think they're gonna see you. From the passenger jet. Not annoying at all. There's a lighthouse. There's the lighthouse over there. Another great image like that. Guess we're roughing it another night. Where are we in the episode? There's still some time left. So here's my thing. Are they going to go Super Saiyan again and then get us out of here? But we're not in Pure Illusion, I didn't think. Oh, now I'm all alone? Oh, terrifying. Lot of dark forests with you, huh? Remember that image of the tree with the mouth? Oh. Well, the strawberry died. Oh, Paprika's here. What? Thanks. Sorry. Like Tarzan. Oh no, okay. Thought you were gonna swing on the vine. An eggplant. Like a plum or something. Oh, well, it's good that I didn't eat one then. Hmm. Yeah, this is great. I think the show's good. I've been holding judgment, but yeah. Really like the line there, you walk fast, too. It's back to back, naked in the bath. Sure. Not for much longer. Somebody kill this robot, quick. What was it with the imposter among us? Where did that eventuate to? I really need to study for my exams, dude. Oh yeah, the power of a wish. Don't know, lots of stuff. Talk to me. Interesting. Interesting. Lots of theories here. We could be a family together. Yeah, continuously you staying up at night too. Yeah, there you go. You guys connected a little bit more. Pretty obvious one, but they're facing each other where they were facing away from each other before. Do we think this experience has brought them closer, chat? Probably. Also, where is this island? Was the school even on the coast? Okay, I hope we don't fucking die. Black hole sun? I see. Because of the sync, right? True. Gotcha. Why are you concerned? What? I see. Alright, she locked in. And it seems like we're gonna... Yeah, gotcha. I know. You two want to hug and kiss each other. It's great. And you're reciprocating. Gotcha. And that's it. Ending. Yeah, cool. So yeah, very similar to episode 2 into 3, there is another teaser where we'll go straight into the next Pure Illusion come next episode. This episode was amazing. It was sneaky, very poignant, I think. There's a lot of little moments there that you guys that are rewatching will have like a lot more insight into what like that kind of sequence where they're kind of on the island at night is trying to get at. I think the revelation that Kokona doesn't even know her family, that they all died or went away when she was very young, is very convenient, especially in combination with a lot of my general... Like, why else would Yayaka be so close to Kokona for so long? Kokona seems important almost from birth, that kind of thing. And I think the beauty here is that I'm not sure Papika is aware of the significance there. It's not I want Kokona because of her value. I want her because she's a person that, you know, on her... Instead of her value, I want her for her personality and everything else in between. I like that part of it. Yeah. You can almost look at that relationship between Kokona and Yayaka as a bit more cynical now. Anyway. Lots of stuff to talk about this episode. Lots and lots and lots. And we'll be diving in, don't you worry at all. It is hot as fuck in this room, by the way. Next time on? Yes. Oh my god, it's like a horror movie thing? Jesus. Okay, sure. Yeah, I will return very shortly. After, again, making the room less fucking hot. I will return and we'll talk about Flip Flappers some more, shall we? Let's do that. Rightio, chat room, I'm back. I've had something to eat. The fan is going, so please let me know if, like, you can hear it at all. I couldn't hear it from the testing I did, but I'm also stupid. So, if you guys can hear a fan, please let me know, because this fan placement is probably going to be my go-to for summer, because again, it's meant to be 39 degrees Celsius today, something like that. 102 Fahrenheit, I looked it up for you Americans in the audience. So, hot. It's going to be hot today, much like the thing on screen. It's going to be hot all summer. I'm going to be recording all summer. Therefore, again, if this is annoying, please let me know. But episodes, what did I think? I think this show gets better and better as I continue to watch it. Its purported lack of depth early is being remedied as we continue. There is a mystery afoot. There is something going on with Kokona to which the audience is currently unaware, and I'm wanting to figure that out. There's been twists and turns and new characters and all sorts of good stuff, right? That I didn't get in the first episode that is now present in the show. It's fulfilling that one spot in the production where I thought that we were maybe lacking. Again, the only other question mark now I have with the rest of the show from here is, does it stick a landing of some kind? Does it all work out to make sense, even if not literally, then thematically? Potentially. Again, we'll see as we continue. But I'm looking forward more and more to Flip Flapper Thursdays is when I'm recording. So yeah, looking forward more and more every time. I think the eclectic mix of influences in episode 3 is probably its standout aspect, as I'll go through here in but a moment. There's some interesting Kokona character stuff with the whole I'm empty conceit, right? And when we think about Kokona a little bit more, that starts to make more and more and more sense. And again, maybe this blooming fascination, it seems like, with art will will tie into this somewhat as well. Almost, she's very robotic. It's almost very android-esque, like androids starting to come to know art and understand art and what art is about and the emotional center of it. Of course, then we have episode 4, which focuses again on that emotional connection between Kokona and Paprika, right? Where again, we reiterate this thing, I'm empty, I'm not good enough, I'm this, I'm that, you're so vibrant, Paprika, right? It makes it seem like what we're getting at here is Paprika is so full of energy, she's so spunky, you know? And Kokona may be subconsciously kind of jealous of that in some way, and that's what's being harnessed here by this devilish character in this episode. But again, they grow closer by the end of episode 4, and then sync once again, hopefully taking them out of the ocean and back to safety eventually, right? But it seems like the twins, I think they're twins, and Yayaka are coming along too. That's our setup going into episode 5. There's some interesting stuff with this organization that Paprika is working for, or not Paprika, that Yayaka is working for. There's some interesting stuff there. I want to talk about what I think their basis is and what they're based off of when they show up. The general set of influences there would be interesting to talk about. I also saw a robot with those guys, which tells me that, hey, come the end of episode 1, when there's robots about and they're stealing stuff, that isn't Salt. Salt's not doing that. It's a different organization entirely, which I'm forgetting their name, but they want Amorphous or something, and they want world domination. So that's bad. We don't like that. Yeah, a ton of questions, and the episodes look great, and they sound great, and the music's great, and the characters are great, and it's weirdly horny, but that's fine. We can get over that. It's just a good show. It's good television so far. And yeah, let's do some analysis as we continue here on episode 3. So most definitely Western vibes early. If the desert wasn't the telltale sign of that, then I don't know what is. We have a lone wanderer drifting through the desert, looking for her lost friend, her lost loved one, of course, and wanders into this small town, this small village, and decides to help. Again, classic Western premise for sure. Do like the presence of the sun here, making these darkened spots almost on the film itself that's filming this scene. Again, very classic cinema. The lack of water here, of course, exacerbated the sweat falling on the ground, the dead leaves there. And, yeah, the ship, that's what I'm getting at, right? There's this giant tanker in the middle of the desert. Where there was once water, there is no water now. That's what it's gotten across here. It's a neat piece of world building, as well as an extended metaphor for what the character's feeling. The overwhelming lack of water personified, right? You're looking for food, you're looking for any moisture at all, digging up these plants, they're all too dry. You've been left for dead out here. Seems like you're going to die, calling out to Kokona, and we see, but behind my cam, a small character entering the frame. Right there. Hello, small character. It is later revealed that this small character is just the devil in disguise, so don't feel too good about it. Essentially, okay, what is the devil trying to do this episode? I don't know, like devil stuff, I guess. Like trickery. Trying to put characters into moral quandaries and make them face things that they don't want to face. All these things, right? Again, from that perspective, it seems like that's what's being trying to... Because again, Paprika was left for dead out here. It is only through the assistance of this small girl that she's able to live. I'm guessing only in the service of making these two fight, eventually making Kokona and Paprika clash and their friendship be destroyed for some devilish overall reason. Sure. I feel like the character design of this alien race is very Star Warsy. I don't know why. Maybe Tatooine, something akin to that. Maybe I don't know. I'm not a huge Star Wars guy to begin with, so maybe not the best person to ask. But hey, it seems like we're on this alien world. There is two different tribes of people. It seems like there is a more dominant tribe that's more militant and disrespectful and stuff, and these kind of native people. It seems like. More coded as native, I would say, living off the land, that kind of vibe, that are just trying to exist in their own little pockets. Again, if you wanted to get super specific about it and super specific at what I'm trying to get at, is it's Native Americans versus, other cowboy dudes. You know what I mean? It's weird when you call certain people Americans and other certain people non-Americans. Anyway, yeah, fucking, that's what we're getting at. That's what's being gotten across here for sure. There's this rowdy gang of people, that are harassing the native tribes. That's what I think is the general pastiche here. And again, they imprison her initially because probably their only experience with outsiders ever, outside of their own tribe, has been horrific, right? you know? Yeah, the last time we saw an alien person that didn't look like us from outside of our tribe, we've never seen somebody like this. It turns out there was a whole bunch of them, and they were very, very aggressive. So, hey, we're going to take our chances here, but Paprika wouldn't hurt a fly. She just wants some water, really. She really wants that water, like real bad. The world building in the show it's really quite stunning. I love their living arrangement, right? They're like living in these huts of like clay that are like, again, behave VLC, please. Like made into like the walls and the stones and stuff. They're, again, living off the land as opposed to, again, we'll get that small shot of the other tribe, the other people, but very much not coded that way. These tenets of living off the land, right? Only taking what you need, not overindulging, not wasting, all these things, right? Living as one with the land is the general gist here, right? Again, you see Paprika. Paprika was so very thirsty before. Water seems like a scarce resource. It's not like she's jumping in here and drinking all of the water immediately, right? I know she wants to, but eventually she just thanks the girl for saving her. A little bit of nobility here from Paprika, of course. Contrast again with these fucking Mad Max dudes. I should say that this is also just Mad Max. Again, the native tribes infighting over water, all this kind of stuff. I'm Australian. It's my, again, nationalistic duty to understand Mad Max and like it and stuff, and I do. Watch Furiosa. I really liked Furiosa as well. Probably my favorite film I watched this year. Did I watch it this year? I did. Yeah, probably. Oh, it's up there. So, yeah, very much similar to all the themes that are gotten across in that as well, I would say. Again, the most obvious reference here being the tying people to the front of vehicles and the general level of yahooing and so forth, as well as some of this overall. This is almost very like Roman, very. It's got a lot of historical significance to it, but it's also a submarine, but it's also got paddles, but it's also got huge guns coming out of it. Very God King, I would say. The rowing there, the gang of people rowing for the one very important person. Again, generally like jet boats in the sand, submarine in the sand, the rowing here. It's like the presence of water was once on this planet, but it got taken away, maybe by overindulgence by other certain peoples, maybe. And again, we're building grand contrast, right? These very sweaty, muscly men rowing away versus the cute garden that we have here with this character. I wonder which character we're meant to resonate with more, right? This kind of happy-go-lucky rainbow world with all the plants and little windmills and stuff that looks very quaint, or literally the military-industrial complex personified. I don't know which one, guys. Now, this is interesting. Paprika here mentions that she's looking for Kokona, right? That she's come from far away and that kind of thing. This character here mentions a shooting star to which they made a wish and then it split in two. I don't think this is too dissimilar from the truth, right? Because again, the reveal is, of course, that this character isn't real. This is actually the devil. Maybe you did wish for these two to split apart and then followed the one which attracted you more, which was Kokona. Again, I think there's some latent power there or something with Kokona that's important. That's why everybody wants her. So again, maybe you did indeed wish for it to split in two. That thought is interrupted by Paprika's hunger and then, of course, the other tribe arriving. They crush all of the plants immediately. The cute garden that we were standing in before is left in tatters, of course. And yeah, general disregard for other people in their society overall. Again, they're physically superior. They tower over. They're all very uniformed, you know, very military-esque, government-esque. Anyway, you know what I'm getting at, right? Anyway, and again, wasting the water, even on jokes as well, you know. Pour it down my pants. Oh, that's living, that's nice. Oh, it's nice to do that after rowing my giant mega submarine over this way. Again, showing general disregard to the water that wasn't shown before by Paprika, right? And again, the leader of the tribe tries to come through and, you know, talk him down. Please have mercy. We barely have enough to get by. You're literally killing us right now. Can you please stop? And then this guy just shoots immediately. Quiet old guy. This delinquent type guy just shoots him in the head. Except the lone wanderer in town comes in and saves the day. Again, very Western. And this is when the audience gets let in on a little secret, I would say. That's that Kokona is in control of the other half here, right? So Paprika's talking up. She's about to fight. And then, hey, our grand supreme leader is actually just Kokona as well, and she's hiding. Now again, I thought that this was going to be a grand misunderstanding type plot, or maybe a shift in perspective, like we were going to see that, Again, maybe things aren't what they seem from Paprika's perspective, and Kokona would have a completely different perspective on another thing, and they would eventually unite on one perspective and save the planet that way. Not quite, it was a brainwashing thing, but, just very fun. I can't say I expected it either, even though it seems obvious in retrospect. Paprika seems to get herself into a fight with the most important of the guys, the military guys. And again, this is a bit of power scaling stuff. He seems very strong and stuff. Look at these muscles and nothing else in the scene, please. And hey, Paprika's beating him easily. Paprika is easily stronger than all of these guys combined. The one flick there, and I love the zoom here that we use as well, right? So flick it back, the zoom, and I don't know what I recognize that from, but I recognize that from a million different cartoons. A million, Japanese and otherwise. If there's some specific production details that people want to shout out about this episode, I just feel like it looks so very familiar to me. So is there somebody that I know that would have worked on this episode that made it look this way? I don't know. This fight is brought up another notch when the Grand Supreme Leader of the other guys starts firing. I think specifically here the decision to make one of the shots break Paprika's shackles here is also pretty loaded. Here's Kokona-sensei, she's here, she's gonna fight. And then, of course, the confusion sets in from Paprika. So here's my thing, right? I would say the major character revelation of this episode is that Kokona isn't purely being brainwashed right now. It's easy to tick it all off as, oh, she made me evil. No, it's amplifying a part of yourself that does exist, right? Will this get explored in more detail? Is this the empty side that we talk about, that you're willing and able to do any of this for... Okay, let's get overall thematic with the show. I think there's an art versus science discussion being made. Art versus business as well. That's another thing that we're getting at. Almost very AI, which I'll talk about again a little bit later, which is a little bit more relevant now than it would have been in 2016. But still, I think Kokona here and her general decisions, this is her nerdy side taken to the nth degree, right? This is her business side, her exams side, her... Again, I'm going to fulfill these obligations in society that I ought to based on something else other than my own kind of artistic drive or anything else, my own feelings instead of my brain, I'm following that to the nth degree, and it's leading me to commit violent acts and not commit things of justice and, be a bad person. And again, this is being amplified by this mask, but this is a side of Kokona, and I think moving forward, Kokona really doesn't like this side of herself. We see that in episode 4, right? I'm empty. And again, gravitating towards art more and more, gravitating towards Paprika more and more. The world of imagination rather than the world of facts and logic. Overall concepts for the show, I would say, but I think they're getting across, or being gotten across very early. You could also say the lack of emotional intelligence versus the lack of genuine intelligence, right? It would be an intelligent thing to do, to shoot the well and shoot the houses and fight like this and that kind of thing, right? But the emotional intelligent person would say, hey, this isn't right, this isn't justice, this isn't correct. And again, synthesizing these two probably leads to the best outcome, you would say, right? Or again, more explicit focus on Paprika and what she represents, the emotional side. Then I think the fight scene here, getting away from my artsy-fartsy stuff, is just awesome. I think this is fucking amazing. Like, clearly, it's just directed very well. Love the camera shake, the fighting style, the flashes, the everything. It gets very Dragon Ball Z by the very end as well, I would say. Frame construction, shot selection, all sorts of stuff. Just, this is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And again, the fight here is just fucking awesome. Yeah, even the sound effects there, Dragon Ball, very much so. And yeah, it seems like Paprika is defeated. She gets some cheering from the tribe there before, using her last ounce of strength, decides to headbutt. And this really takes it out of her. You can see the hair change color there back to its normal form. This is her last ounce of strength to break her out of the brainwashing device. Now again, that headbutt wasn't just a headbutt, it was a metaphor as well. I'm putting my thoughts into your brain. My thoughts and what I deem important is what ends up breaking you out of this spell. And yeah, we see here that Kokona wasn't particularly aware of anything the entire time. That's great. Well, that's not great at all, that's awful. Start shedding the tears. You can add this into the general water motif of the episode too. Again, wasting water, so to say. Don't cry, it wastes water, that kind of vibe. And again, we must remember the character motivation for Kokona. The first 2 episodes are characterized by you being tsundere and, you being scared that your presence in pure illusion or whatever else is going to lead to somebody else getting hurt, right? That this is serious business, this isn't just playtime, and I can't trust Paprika to understand that and not make rash decisions, especially on my behalf. It seems like Paprika's really hurt herself in the process of trying to save me, when again, I'm the one that's hurting her. This is her worst fears coming true. My existence in pure illusion has led to somebody else directly getting hurt. I hurt them. And it wasn't a brainwashing thing, it was my actual thoughts. And again, they're playing it up a little bit here, but you know, you feel the emotions. It's very dramatic, it's very filmic, cinematic, very Western. Now see, this is that same character, yeah, with the pink little dress and the thing. It's very confusing initially when this character drives over and the fucking robot's just here with her, right? Before the hand comes out, the mask comes off, and hey, look, it was a fucking devil the entire time. Hey, look, it's a character design, everybody. What can I say about you? A certain subset of the audience would really like you? I don't know. She's very naked. It's very Trigger. It's very... I don't know, lots of things. It's almost Greek. That's what I'm seeing, right? Almost like this Greek trickster god type character. And again, that's more gotten across with the architecture here a little bit later as well. Seems like this ancient being of this land, right? Imagine that this planet here, this meatball Saturn, this is Earth, right? So way back in the day, we had gods and that kind of stuff. Then that was brought down. Then we had society as a whole. Then the apocalypse happened, and this is the post-apocalypse from that. So yeah, again, you're lasting the test of time. You're almost anciently important to this planet. And again, from a Christian lens, you're being largely associated with devilish things, again, lustful, as we see in the scene here, but in but a moment, and, you know, sinning, drinking alcohol, very bad. We don't like that. And generally playing the trickster, not being honest, all these, you know, Christian set of values. We have a flashback here. There's that kind of pantheon I was talking about right there. It almost feels like she's in that one zone from Elden Ring. You know the one, you know, underground. Yeah. Mog's house. And it seems like the robot has its horny meter on because it just ends up finding this kind of like gimp pool. I don't know what you would call this, man. It's just fucking weird. Yeah, I don't even know where to begin with artistically analyzing this, but yeah, the set of influences here is mental. Yeah, again, you met a trickster god and they, you know, they fucked with you a little bit, right? But it was actually your thoughts the entire time. The horny robot goes crazy. There's a lot of grip on those toes, too. Paws. And the robot's, like, spurting goo everywhere. This is the grossest shit I've ever seen in my life. Get this fucker off screen. And again, gets tricked. Do you want to meet your friend? I'll let you meet your friend. Puts the mask on her. Why did you do it? I was bored. I wanted you two to play with me. And yeah, Kokona responds here. You're the one that hurt her. No, it's actually your thoughts. You feel the blood down your knuckles, right? That's what you did to her. And again, I'm only amplifying your thoughts, right? Did hurting Paprika potentially make you feel a little bit better? Am I revealing some truth here that you didn't want to admit to yourself? Again, I think this is mostly centered around envy. I think you're envious of how full Paprika is, for whatever that means. All I did was give you a push on those feelings. And then, but again, this is like gaslighting. It's like trademark villain gaslighting that we see here. There is a distraction here from the Mad Max guys. They shoot her with an arrow, to which she responds here by hitting them with one of her fucking thigh strands, sure. During this distraction, that's enough to feed Paprika the sweet potato, which leads to our victory, which is good. And yeah, this is the specific stuff, right? Because you're empty. That's why it possessed you. So again, it is amplifying a segment of her. I sounded very Kiwi when I said that. Segment. Now, it's amplifying a segment of her personality, right? That does exist there. But it's also the lack of other aspects of her personality, lack of this artful drive and everything else, lack of everything else she's trying to remedy in the end of this episode and the start of the next, right? You know? It's the lack of that stuff that also led to the mask having supreme power. That lack of identity which drove her to some semblance of importance, and in that importance you wanted to play the villain, right? The villain's an important character in the story as a concept overall. I want to be important to the story. I'll take anything I can get. I will be the villain. And again, subconsciously you think something like that. Again, out of envy of Paprika, I think, as well. That's a huge part of this. But again, very much this devil on the shoulder, too. This is a warped perspective. This is one side of the equation. The other side will appear soon and tell her all the good things about Kokona as well. Now, this is interesting, too. it's horny, but that's beside the point. Specifically, this zone, the zone that glowed in the first episode when you first transformed, I'll take your fragment. This is your fragment. And I think Paprika's is somewhere too. It's also on her leg somewhere, like ankle. I forget where it glowed during episode 2, but this seems like it's important too. This is her ability to transform. We're also calling it a fragment. Is it the same fragments as the other fragment? Who knows? Just at that moment, Paprika calls out for Kokona and saves the day. We have a... Did you say heretic? That's kind of funny. Nah, heroic. Okay, that's fine too. That's more apt, I would say. Again, she got powered up by the giant sweet potato, which I think's just fun. That's just good gear. And again, as has been very well telegraphed, it seems like most of the power, if not all of it, in Pure Illusion is dictated on sharing feelings. So if we're going to be eating the same things and thinking that it's yummy together, we're going to gain extra power. We need to be in sync. That's what it's all about. Next episode is getting us more and more in sync, right? Lowering that level of impotence or whatever it was called. And yeah, the two have finally transformed here as well. Noting the hair colors are very, very important. They literally say henshin and do a transformation sequence. I mean, you saw it during the reaction. I don't have much to tell you beyond it's just fucking cool. I'm not an animation dork. I can't talk to anything else beyond that. I think that Sailor Moon was a huge influence, but again, that's basically my only frame of reference for Magical Girl stuff as well. Again, you just say Precure and Sailor Moon. That's all I know. Very, very, very horny. Very horny. And the only other note that I have is that Paprika's hair goes blue and that Kokona's hair goes red. It's cute because they're in sync together and they're kind of, swapping personalities with each other, swapping that kind of general... Because again, the redheaded characters have certain personality traits. Blue-haired characters have certain personality traits. It's fun to see them kind of swap and become as one, so to say, during the sequence. The general idea of the butterfly is cool too. It's a fun play off of the kind of scarf that they wear with their school uniforms as well. So that's fun. This butterfly and so forth, it's this general image of nature. There's this kind of wing motif to it all as well. It's very insecty. They have one leg going crazy, the other leg's got something else going on. I would say all of this is in contrast to the costuming decisions of Yayaka and her gang a little bit later on, which is a lot more military, a lot more forceful, a lot more world domination-y. This one's, again, industrial versus nature, science versus art. These are the kind of overall ideas that are being gotten across by these character designs. I'd say one of my only gripes is that the two kind of character designs and transformation sequences are quite similar. I hope we see other ones in the show, but I don't know who would even have one, so don't know. Like evil Magical Girl transformation sequences is so cool. So I'd like to see something like that too. Yeah, it seems like it's all about opposites, right? We're just swapping with each other. We've got one leg from one and one leg from the other one, and we're both wearing similar skirts, but it's kind of like color flipped here a little bit too. But you got the sleeves going on. Again, you can kind of see it here between like you and you. It's like two sides of the same coin, the posing, the everything. My thing which makes this like so funny is that they're both just in the desert still. It's still maintaining this like Western setting, but now we're magical girls fighting the devil. That's what gives the episode. That's what makes it one of the best episodes thus far. I think it is the best one. I think I like 3 the best. Yeah, it's also just slay. We like that too. They're serving. And again, the fight here is just fantastic. That shot there is demented as fuck, and I love it. Hang on, can I grab it? Yeah, look at that. It's fantastic. That kind of disappearance. I'm like, again, I'm standing in the middle of you two and making you two fight each other, which is a microcosm of what she's done this episode as well. And you must tell me what the initial kind of influence of whatever this is, like yelling at your attacks and so forth in a magical girl setting, because I'm unaware. All I can tell you is it's symphogear as fuck. We just need like Yukine Chris and some stupid fucking metal reference here or something, and we're in. Look at this punch hamster doing her shit. I can go for days. I like how you could just get eviler and eviler as we keep going. And then again, this like character design change too. I love their weapons as well. This is almost very Halo. I like that. I don't know what these shoulder pads are. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. This sword's fucking awesome. It's kind of rainbow color scheme to it too. The scales on it. Yeah, it's Again, we'll bring up the costumes of the other characters later and we'll compare and contrast. That's all I want to get across. Also, like, there's almost a tokusatsu element to it as well. There's a crowd that's kind of watching them and cheering them along. It's like it's a stage performance. It's like it's for an audience, right? Like a hero show as well. They're like, look behind you, there's this monster, he's gonna get you. And as it turns out, they did get gotten and got fucking team rocketed into the sky, blasting off again, leading them to, you know, rotate once around the world and become a shooting star once again. This is what we saw from early in the episode 2. Very cool. And this is our kind of look at the other side of the society as well. Very metallic. That's what I wanted to get across. Look at these traffic cones with spikes on them. It's just metal as fuck. There's like a kid and mum at home, but they're still in these same kind of uniforms and that kind of thing. That wasn't just, you know, their bandit gear. That's what these guys just look like. The leak in the bag's very funny though as well. The kind of barbed wire fence, the oil drum. It seems like we're mining and taking stuff from the planet, and we're very cold and calculating and industrial and stuff. We have power lines going everywhere, the spikes. We have all these triangles. Yeah. You can see it as a point of contrast. Like, we're both building triangles, but these guys over here are building cones. They're less spiky, and they're built with the earth, where these guys are building, like, metallic other spikes. And again, that's great world building for, like, a small joke that we see for 2 seconds. It didn't need all their detail, but it led me to talk about it for another minute, you know? We play our heroic sequence song. These guys kind of did a whole lap around the planet and then have come back around and have decided to fire their super mega scaly rainbow gun at the monster. They've, again, combined their talents. They've combined their 2 weapons into this giant other weapon, combining all of their feelings as well. This is their grandest display of power thus far. And yeah, it leads to a big old anime beam battle. You know what I mean? It's the exact same things that I was speaking about when I did Symphogear back in the day. When all the characters unite and do those like super mega giga punches at the end of seasons, spoilers for the show by the way, I guess, that's what's getting gotten across. We're all on the same page here and we're feeling the same feelings, right? This feeling is fighting this feeling, and this feeling ultimately prevails because, again, that's what feels good protagonistly in a show, yelling out full power and that leading them to get across the precipice and ultimately survive. Again, screaming that in sync, being in sync is the most important element. So again, it seems like we succeeded, and we succeeded on our own merits. We kind of, again, breathe in that same breath, 2 sides of the same coin, uniting again. And yeah, small reconciliation for the 2. Sorry for hitting you, sorry for these kind of feelings that clashed, which caused things to happen this way in this episode. And yeah, it seems like we're wrapping up the episode. We're going for a bit of a joke, a die ski, and all that kind of stuff, right? Before the monster appears again, we didn't actually kill it. It returned. The devil monster big fucking dude, and we're saved by another different mysterious stranger in the kind of nick of time, right? So you look anime as fuck, you've got fucking anime glasses on, and what do we characterize these guys with? Technology. You've got all these kind of visors and sensors and all this kind of shit, right? As opposed to our magical power, our imaginary power. This is all very rote, this is all very textbook, this is all very... Again, you see the clashing ideals. I can't emphasize it enough. With enough words, that is what's happening here. Like, you've got Inspector gadgets where they don't. They just use fucking bullshit magic, you know? A fun character detail I've noticed is it seems like this character design has that broken arm in reality, right? But it turns into a mechanical, very strong, punchy arm when in the pure illusion. I think that's very fun. So yeah, we have this gang here, right? You can't traverse pure illusion like that. Hey, it's Yayaka, and hey, it's the 2 other twin characters that are just, like, in the show. They're, like, the evil team. They're also trying to do the same thing that we're trying to do and collect fragments, but for evil, nefarious purposes. That is bad. They have mostly metallic and darkened kind of costuming, which kind of emphasizes this villainous side as opposed to mostly white costuming, you know? I think all 3 of the designs are killer. I like the red accents here for you guys versus the yellow for you, right? And yeah, ultimately Yayaka's here. She collects the fragment. She steals it. Paprika tries to interfere and gets tripped, which is something which we will see next episode again repeated, which is fun. And it seems like they don't know about the transforming, right? How did you guys transform? It's like... they want to know and they're willing to hurt Kokono to find that out. So what you guys call it is an amorphous. That's the fragment that you're holding. That's what you would call that. Gotcha. And you're fighting to gather more and more of those for They had a name. I'll say it here in a moment in the next episode. Either way, these guys say bye-bye, and they have like little pods, and they can just make portals very easily. Where we need to be in sync and have all these different emotional sides to everything, they just have it given to them, you know? Again, you can see what I'm getting at, hopefully. Let's also contrast the portals. These guys' portal is very metallic, very circular, very, you know... It's not very exciting. Where again, our portals are made out of our imagination. They're a pipe that goes to nowhere, that goes somewhere, right? That in itself is also a Thomason as well, now that I think about it. That kind of pipe thing that they kind of sleep over in next episode, for sure. It's the sun in the next episode as well. It kind of eclipses and turns into one and sucks us in. Where this one, it's very rote. It's just a circle that we drop on the floor. It's like a portal gun thing. Again, imagination generally versus sterile clinical science. So you guys have a look here. Paprika pokes her head through and sees like this gang of weird Pope dudes with the robots, and everyone's got one eye, right? You know? Again, you could talk about the one eye thing as like only one united perspective. I don't have two eyes, which these two sides. Maybe I'm just talking rubbish, but again, this reveals to us that they're in control of the robots at the kind of end of episode 1. We also get a better look at their society as a whole here. Sterile, almost fanatical as well. There's a spiritual element to this with the robes and everything as well. Spires. It just seems like it was made in a lab. This seems like the tenets of their society is that everything is uniform, as opposed to, again, the society that we live in right now. Where, again, there's almost this fairy tale aesthetic dropped on this kind of aesthetic, you know? It's almost like the two aesthetics of the show are at war in the reality, too. You know what I mean? I recognize this guy's voice too, but I'm too lazy to look it up. And you guys seem vaguely aware of who Paprika is, but you call her Papikana. Sure. Who is one half of the direct drive? Who is the other half? Maybe Kokona. I don't know. You add another fragment to the thing and then say... I can't even say that. But you say some vague, weird religious shit. Can I say another thing? This is almost Nazi megastructure-y too. I don't know. Again, maybe I'm off base there, but we'll see. Either way, we get transported back to reality. We found our portal. Yayaka was in there, which is the biggest revelation. And what Salt tells us to do is, we'll talk about all that later, you must stabilize the impotence first. And yeah, we end this episode with that kind of hopeful kind of music sting. And Salt says, there is but a way. It seems like it's impossible. It seems like they can almost track us when we enter pure illusion, which is what happens by the end of episode 4 as well. There is a way that we can ultimately defeat them. We need to stabilize the impotence. That's what it's about. We need to make these two closer and closer. Again, you believe in the power of imagination and reclaiming our imagination. That's what you said. And ultimately, you're putting your kind of stock in that to be the thing that saves us eventually. As opposed to, again, what Yayaka and her gang represent. The next episode begins with a discussion of impotence, right? Essentially, it's the power system here, right? When our impotences match, we are at max power, right? That triggers complete transformations and all sorts of stuff, right? Again, you two can blame Yayaka interfering as much as you wanted, but you two weren't in sync enough to have enough power left and enough juice left to even want to fight them as well. So again, and want to fight for those fragments, which are so very important apparently. The biggest telltale sign as well was when you guys fell through the sky, where that shooting star you split off into two, right? Let's think about Paprika and Kokona's personalities and put them in the situation of falling through the sky. Kokona's going to be like, what the fuck, get me out of here. And Paprika's going to be like, wee, I'm flying, right? So obviously they're not in sync, they separate, you know? Again, this episode in its general structure is about making these two more and more in sync to the point where we're finally able to sync up even again and make our way into pure illusion. So again, in an attempt to make these two more and more in sync, we're going to have them have a sleepover and dress you up in a school uniform and stuff. So Paprika's going to be at school permanently and they're going to be wearing the same things and stuff. And yeah, sleepover. These two must begin living together, being the general premise, jumping into the rest of the episode here. Again, you're going to get tired of me pointing out points of contrast between Kokona and Paprika, right? But here's Kokona packing the night before. Lovely, like a bunch of just like, do you guys have like a Spotlight type store in America? Probably. Like just like a bunch of like home goods and stuff. It seems like she's got like that Instagram type shit where she's trying to show off. Perfectly, like consumerism final boss. That's the kind of vibe, right? Like all of her stuff's color coordinated. She's packing the night before. She's so very organized. Contrast that with I think Paprika just didn't pack anything, not even pajamas or anything, and just kind of stuffed a bunch of pillows into the pipe. It's like, we're going to sleep here. Sure, I mean, fine. So again, in order to make you two closer, you guys need to sleep under the same roof, eat the same things, all that kind of stuff, right? And again, you put two and two together, you're like, oh, that sounds like a fun sleepover type thing. Let's do that. Which again, emphasizing the feeling, emphasizing the fun. You're very much like, it's a camp. It's for improvement. It's study. Again, I'm a broken fucking record. This is the contrast point of the show, right? And again, you're the one teetering between the two extremes. Teetering, again, between Paprika and Yayaka as well. Oh yeah, I definitely missed the post-credit scene from the end of episode 3 as well, where she goes back and talks to her grandma, and she seems pretty chill about the whole thing. Hey, if Kokona can't remember her family, and grandma's the only one she's with, but grandma isn't acting like a real family member, isn't overall concerned, and just seems kind of ultimately chill about everything, that everything's going to be okay, something's up there. That's all I'm trying to say, right? Are you like a lab baby or something, Kokona? Is that what's going on? I think maybe. Something like that. So that's the context here, right? Is I don't want to disappoint Grandma again by going off on another sleepover and not calling and not telling her what I need to tell her and all kinds of stuff, right? You know, just leaving without warning again. So yeah, I am going to be overall a little bit more honest. I'm going on a sleepover. Not super honest, but, you know, as long as you're making friends and stuff, I guess. Again, a real parent would ask more questions here. Grandma's weird. That's all I'm trying to get across. Is Grandma a fucking robot? What's going on? I don't know. We have this dream again for Kokona, right? She's struggling to sleep at night, plagued with nightmares. We kind of see this at the end of the episode, or twice more in the episode as well, not being able to sleep at night. It's this dream. You're in a dark forest. You're on a river. It's foggy. You can't quite recall all the details. I'm seeing overall that this is like a river of death, like a river Styx type situation. I'm slowly making my way down before I'm brought out of the dream again. Continuously, you say, welcome home. There's the question of your family. Do you have siblings or something, right? Are they dead? Do they need to be raised from beyond the grave or something? I don't know. Again, this is a reference to that famous illusion as well, and the kind of face structure here, the eyelash over here. You'd normally see eyes or something resembling an eye here, and that kind of vibe. Again, it gives this vibe of something I can't quite recall, something that's foggy, something that's obscured. We wake up once again in the boat, and the nightmare continues here, right? From here, we see the general look of a scary tree. I would say that this mouth kind of reminds me of the monster we fought last episode, so maybe that's kind of infiltrating the dream in a weird way. And yeah, it kind of fades away, the fog grows more and more, and I wake up the next morning. And yeah, we're straight back into it. Paprika's being an absolute menace, just kind of monkeying her way around the school, I would say. And yeah, we're continuing to build contrast. You have one character that's a free spirit and one that's a bit of a fuddy-duddy, straightening out the uniform, making sure that you're presentable, all that kind of stuff, right? You care, and this is how you show you care. Specifically here, I love the shout-out from Paprika later on in the episode that you're such a fast walker. Again, you only think that she's a fast walker or good at walking because she's always trying to get away from you and not focus on you and that kind of thing. Yeah, look at the walk cycles here. It's so very fun. Like, you're so very official and tight and stuff, and you're very loose, just trying to be in her world as you continue to stipulate that it is a training camp and not a sleepover. I think Kokona is nervous here because she thinks that Yayaka is going to be in the classroom. How do I face this person that's been in my life for that long once I've found something out about them that I didn't used to know? Why are you guys working for these people? What's going on there? You're very sheepish about that thing and kind of hesitate upon opening the door. Paprika has no such hesitations, swings the door open and says, "Ta-da-ma!" To which everybody else responds. She's like the celebrity of the school now. She is also, again, very stupid. She checks inside the desk to see if Yayaka's there. No, she's definitely not here. More logically, you go and check the nurse's office as well, to which, again, she is not here. Kokona's walking back from the nurse's office as well before she gets inadvertently tripped by the art student girl, who's, again, sitting by this painting, the painting of the dark forest, which again is very similar to the nightmare. That's, I don't know what's going on there. It's weird. We also go to another forest this episode, so again, another thing to watch. A forest is like, it's mysterious, it's obscuring, foggy, similar vibe there, you know. As a point of contrast, we make our way to the art room, which is, this is K-On! You live in K-On! Apparently. You're just like perpetually in your club's room and you're serving tea to random guests. That sounds like K-On!, I think. Now, we don't get to see this painting here, but I'm pretty sure that this is something that's pretty enrapturing as well. The two are just going to sit and enjoy a nice glass of tea as they paint and paint and paint. And it's just so comfy. The music's fantastic. The vibes are immaculate. And Paprika is the one that ultimately disrupts the calm of it all. I feel like you've really found your place here. I want to see this continue, for sure. It's almost weird. Paprika seems like the one that's more closely associated with this artsy side, but ultimately you're the one that drags her back to class, which is weird. Because again, class is the bad thing. Class is not what we want to do, right? Yeah, weird. Normally Paprika would be the one that's getting dragged, I would say, away from this. So it's interesting that you're showing off this side. Lo and behold, Yayaka just appears out of nowhere at lunchtime. I guess she just showed up to school late or something. Let's contrast lunches as well. Yours is just in like a regular like convenience store plastic bag. Yours is very prepped. Again, consumerism final boss. She has a different bag for everything and it's all very, you know, color-coded and chic and stuff. You've got a fucking... It's like a net with a melon in it. You guys can't see it. Hang on. Look at that. What the fuck? She is broke as hell. No, but also, yeah, again, the characters stuff here is just fantastic. How you wear the uniform versus how you wear the uniform versus how you wear the uniform. Wearing that jumper, covering up a little bit too, hiding stuff. Again, you seem like a halfway between Paprika and Yayaka. I'm going to continue to say it, right? Yayaka is so very stoic. She's almost lazy. That's how she presents herself, right? Have some tact. I'm all business all the time, all everything, no emotion, no nothing, no attachment. The closest thing we got to emotion was that grab onto the arm from episode 2, I believe it was. But you're definitely hiding and bottling it up. You want to be like that, but you are leading more Paprika, right? You want to be this stoic person with no emotions and no nothing and all that kind of stuff, but you do feel emotions. You feel embarrassed. You feel sad, you feel empty, you feel all these things, right? They're still emotions. I would classify you as emotionless, almost, right? Where again, you're full of emotions, Paprika is feeling the most in every scene. We get a lot of context here through the omission of information, right? So, Paprika asks, have you been collecting them long? You say, far longer than you. Again, I've been close to Kokona for a very long time as well. It's very interesting. Again, from a young age, this has almost been my goal. Easy to get cynical about everything when it's just a mission, you know? The other one is like, how many have you collected? And then she refuses to answer. She doesn't answer that part of the question, right? Which tells me that they've collected a lot over a long period of time and they're way ahead of us. Again, deflects one question, Kokona asks a different question about the sweetbread, and it's like, you're still a softie, aren't you, right? You're not the type to ask the hard-hitting questions, and you still don't want to break this relationship that we've had with each other. You want to dance around the issue instead of confronting it, you know? Yayaka sees that, calls her out on it. Yayaka drops all pretenses here and just says, hey, why don't you guys join us, right? If you join us, we'll collect the things way faster and we can complete the plan. That's all this is about, right? And Paprika says, no, never, I'll never join you, right? Kokona, more conflicted, right? What are you collecting them for? What purpose? Why are you doing this? Of course, you say, world conquest. I'm not helping you, bro. I'm not helping some random Pope guy take over the world. And again, you're continuing to obscure things. You trip her over. She does recover this time, though. But in that time, Yayaka's already escaped. Again, why don't you join me? We're going to dominate the world. There's more here. You really don't know, do you? You don't know any of the context. No, you won't tell me anything. So, again, one for future, I would say. Also, it's definitely not a melon. It was a giant rice ball that she had in her thing. Still funny, though. Again, I think Kokona is feeling more and more about this strained relationship with Yayaka than, you know, she's letting on at the moment. It's really getting her down a little bit. And almost in an effort to cheer her up, Paprika is now commencing Operation Sleepover. And yeah, this is where we'll be staying. It's the same pipe from the first episode. It's just dressed up a little bit, right? I would say the really fun element here is all the kind of banana leaves here and all the shrubbery and that kind of... It gives that kind of desert island vibe to it before we go to a literal desert island by the end of the episode. Again, if you just want to talk about, hey, future me, get up another image on screen of that kind of monolith place that the kind of other guys were living in, the Pope guys, the robots. See the difference? That's to a T what these two sides are conflicting on, right? And what we, the protagonists, represent, and what the other side does. Either way, come in the pillow sphincter, and, have a good time, I guess. I love the vibes inside of here. It's like, you ever made, like... You know, got a bunch of chairs and then put a blanket over it when you were very young, or got like a couch and like built a fort at home. It's like a pillow fort, you know? That's the kind of vibe we're getting here. Again, childish, wide-eyed, creative. All these things I would associate with Paprika. I went to a desert island to collect materials, up to and including the shell. I even painted it. Who cares that it still has a giant fucking crab inside? Yeah, everyone here is along for the ride. Even Yuke's skill. Now I have a question. I'll bring it up when we see it a little bit later on, but Yuke's skill like has a giant mouth and he bites the robot or something? I mean, good, because it's the robot, but are we going to talk about that at all, or... I don't know. Either way, Yuke's skill is here. We're making him a meal because he's hungry. And yeah, let's go forage for some food, I guess. We find some eggs of some kind of creature, right? We reach out to them and grab them and run away. They're also huge. Look at these things. So these are like massive kiwi eggs, because look at this like kiwi looking dude here. It's definitely a kiwi, right? Again, that's the thing. We're less concerned about the scientific realities of all the different ingredients we're putting together and if they're poisonous and if they're not poisonous, right? We're just going off of vibes, you know? Collecting things and tasting things and all kinds of things, right? I think specifically this is played for a gag now, but this is played very seriously later on. We're like collecting tomatoes, like wild tomatoes here. You go to reach one and you grab the wrong one. It's got a bug in it and that startles you. Later in the episode you go to grab a strawberry and it startles you again and you realize that this is not what you're good at but what Paprika's good at, right? Just the vibes, just knowing these things off the top of her head instead of knowing all the scientific mumbo jumbo behind everything. Again, how can you stay mad at this, you know? She just wants you to eat the meal that's full of who knows what. I particularly like the joke here where you try to ask clarifying questions and it's like, is this even edible? I'm eating it, so it must be edible, you know? Again, just pure vibes. That's what you're based off of. We have very fan servicey here, like very, very fan servicey in a way that I didn't really expect, so sure. Go off, I guess. Maybe I'm becoming more and more immune to it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. What does that say about me? I don't know. Interesting discussion for another time, maybe. Yeah, you're like Among Us. What's this? Is this anything? You just really want to eat the grass. I guess it's played for a gaffe. I thought it was going to be like a more serious plot point, but no. Sure. He just wants the grass bad and just wants to chew on it. I guess we never really did feed Yuke's skill, so sure. Now this here is very important for a contrast point later. You're extremely naked. That's kind of your vibe. You've also got a fucking ankle collar on. What, are you running from the feds or something? Anyway, you're extremely naked, and you've got clothes on. You're facing away, sleeping soundly, right? You're facing away, wide awake, right? Overnight, you need some time to yourself to look up into the stars, and again, stars is a kind of representation of destiny. What's in my destiny? What has come before me? My family? What is in my stars? That's what she's kind of pondering, right? Maybe that has to do with her nightmare as well, that she keeps having. Again, Yuke's skill in his own way is trying to keep her happy, but again, there's a separation point between these two. I can't relate to this, I can't relate to this, you know? We're still not in sync. By the very end of the episode, potentially there's going to be another scene with the two sleeping side by side, which may offer some contrast points when we get to it. Either way, the next day dawns and we're off to collect more and more materials, and we're off to a deserted beach island to do so. This is just beautiful as well. This is one of the better animated sequences over both episodes here today. It reminds me, again, I'm a broken record about K-On!, but it reminds me of the camp episode, the first one from K-On!. There's this kind of really awesome scene where they're on the train going to the beach or whatever, wherever they're having the camp. And kind of reminds me a lot of this with the kind of sparkling water, the bright sunny day, all these kind of things. We see here that she's parked the surfboard just like on the shore, not even further in or anything. Of course it floats away by the very end. Are you stupid? Paprika is currently in the water, literally trying to catch a fish with her hands, which is kind of crazy, like Golem style. That's mental. But that's, again, we're going to go get eggs, let's get different food, let's try and go get a fish or something, right? Let's go to these like kind of shallow waters and see what we can catch. Paprika's already in the water, it's like knee deep, she's like thrashing around and stuff. You don't want to get wet, you're also wearing stockings. Again, you're hiding things. Again, that's what this is trying to get across, right? You're way more uptight, uniform-wise, you're not willing to take it off, you're not really willing to lower these barriers that are existing between you and whatever else is going on, right? You grow onto that skirt pensively once again, instead of tying it up like Paprika does. That's the difference between these two characters. Yeah, we see her skirt, in contrast, tied up like this, no stockings to be seen. And yeah, the surfboard's gone. We see it over here, all the way out in fucking the ocean. And again, so my answer here is like, okay, is this pure illusion or is it not? Because why don't we just fucking henshin and go get it? But no, that's not viable. We can't do that in reality. And yeah, for the last kind of 10 minutes here of the episode, it turns into a deserted island type episode, which I think is a fun twist. Another great characterization point for Kokona here is that she's more and more concerned about the exams that she's going to miss rather than everything else that comes along with being deserted on an island. She almost puts these exams and her grades and her studiousness above her own life in that regard, which I think is just fun. Papaka's fucking stupid. She's trying to wave down a literal like passenger plane that's 20,000 feet in the air. And yeah, we do a little bit of a zoom here right here at the end. As you realize the real danger of this situation, I'm not just stuck on a deserted island, I'm stuck on a deserted island with an idiot. This is a representation of their fading hopes, as we see here. They've kind of written SOS in the sand, but it's starting to kind of get scrubbed out by the ocean as it comes in, you know. They've resigned themselves to understand that no one's coming, and they must eat once again in order to survive. So let's go hunting, right? We have Papaka leading the way, right? In contrast to when they're at school, Papaka was always the one straggling behind. Papaka is now the one leading the way. We have Kokona here telling her to slow down. I trip over. This isn't my arena. This isn't where I'm good, right? I look up, and she's already gone. I'm covered in dirt. I'm covered in scars. I'm getting my stockings wet, my shoes dirtied. I'm out of my element, and Papaka is in hers. I see now that I am less significant in these kind of situations. And yeah, everything bad happens to her. She gets kind of hurt by the bug. She's now running away. She's lost. It's getting darker and darker. She treads on some leaves, and again, she's in this dark forest. Very similar to the dark forest of the painting that we continually see. She's lost. She's trapped. She's abandoned. It looks dangerous. It looks scary. It looks spooky. There's weird sounds coming from everywhere. It's all slippy and slimy, and she's hungry. She's alone. She's everything, right? She goes to grab onto this red fruit, but kind of loses her balance right here at the very last second, and fails to effectively live in this forest type situation. She's not suited to this. Papaka finds her and then calls her a mess. You're a mess, shut up. But again, being helped out of this situation by Papaka only makes her feel more and more empty, more and more useless in such a situation. I do think there's something in Kokona goes to grab onto the red fruit and inadvertently smashes it when Papaka replaces it with a blue fruit. Like, again, I'm seeing red versus blue with the hair colors of Papaka and Kokona as well. There's probably something to that. Again, upon Papaka telling you that the red fruit was actually dangerous, that's when you hit your lowest point for the episode. Praising Papaka, you're amazing, right? And I can't help but hurt you all the time as well. Something in that, maybe? I don't know anything. I can't do anything. You're empty, playing the scene from last episode, of course. Again, this is a reflection of your deepest part of your subconscious, right? You are empty. This is your greatest fear manifest, right? And again, this is another example in real life proving it true. I'm not good at this. I am empty. I don't have the same vibe to me that Papaka seems to possess. But again, Papaka's just a ray of sunshine. You can do lots of things. You know, I can name them. You're smart, you read textbooks good, you walk fast, which again I've talked about. And again, you can put your scarf on right. Again, I think you're trying your very best, but you don't do the best job at telling her the things she wants to hear. Again, all that stuff is clinical, all that stuff is the stuff you're supposed to do. What Kokona wants to do here is grow a personality a little bit more. But either way, it makes her laugh, and it also makes her feel useful, as she uses this as an opportunity to straighten up Papaka's scarf. Again, if we work together, you telling me all the kind of survival tips and I'm maintaining your cleanliness as we go, we can make our way out of this, you know? And ultimately, some of your sciencey skills were probably involved in the building of the raft. That's the ultimate combination of your survival stuff and your sciencey stuff, I think, right? And again, little blush there for the shippers in the chat as well, upon her thanking you for straightening up the scarf. We love it, folks. Again, another grand point of contrast here is the bathing from one night to the next. So now we're in a bath together as opposed to showering in separate cubicles there before. You're allowing her to get closer where you were a little bit embarrassed about the whole naked thing before. Now we're back to back in the bath, you know? The bath that eventually even starts to fall apart too. Again, as we're in this kind of situation together, we're growing closer and closer. Again, reducing the impotence as what was needed, right? And there's this sleeping scene that I talked about before. We start here by suggesting the building of a raft. We're going to give it another go tomorrow. Kind of sleep it off this night, you know? And look up into the stars, right? Again, destiny. What's ahead for us? What's gone behind us? What's pondering. We start here with the mentioning of no shooting stars. Again, in reference to the last episode where we were the shooting stars, right? Where we were the manifestations of wishes as well. Think about it. But again, this is a bit of a personal question. If you collect enough fragments, what is it that you're going to wish for, Papika? What is your deepest, darkest desire? What's so important to you that you will fight people for it? Why do you fight so hard for these fragments? And yeah, you kind of very reserved here. I'm not telling you. It's a secret for now. But there's a smugness to it. Does it involve Kokona? That's kind of fun. Maybe it does. Anyway, Kokona's wish is about her family, right? Well, she hasn't really thought of one, but if she did think of one, it would probably have to do with her family. Ever since I was a child, I've been living with my grandmother. My parents died in an accident when I was a baby. I don't know, is this actually what happened? This seems very convenient. So yeah, again, you wish for a family, you wish for connection. True connection, right? I think some of you is... When you kind of showed up late, again, you didn't attend cram school, you were too busy in pure illusion upon the end of episode 3, I think some part of you wanted the grandma to scold you, wanted her to really care about you. But again, that connection, it's so not like that, I don't think. It's so unimportant. It doesn't feel like a parent, What I want is for somebody to care about me. That's the shorthand here, right? And I think ultimately you're going to achieve that family in the form of Papika. I think that's what we're getting at. I'm sure you'll get to meet your family one day, but again, the family are the people around you. It's like a found family type thing, Now again, it's a little bit later in the night. Papika is fast asleep, very comfortably, turns inward, of course. Little, almost a little pout there in the mouth too, which I like. Right there. Isn't that adorable? And then again, you're happy about that. You turn inwards as well, and we're both facing each other. Instead of me staying up, worried, scared of this nightmare, all these different things, right? I'm able to sleep soundly and sleep facing each other. We're on the same wavelength, The impedance, it's never been lower. The sync rate, it's never been higher. These two are about to enter pure illusion. Just every segment of this is so well crafted. Why else would there be two banners on this? It's their two, school scarves, That's their kind of pirate flag that they built, Again, that's kind of taking that thing that kind of was one of the major conceits of the episode, the straightening of the scarf, and using it as an effective tool in the building of our raft, right? We're going to throw our differences aside, unite them as the one thing, and use it as our escape method. If that's not a representation for these two synchronizing, then I don't know what is, Yep, in sync, pushing the raft into the water, saying no, saying the same thing together, all these things that have triggered kind of pure illusion in the past. Laughing together, having fun together, sun is shining, it's a sunrise, it's a new hope, it's a new day. And yeah, the sun appears from behind two rocks and starts to become an eclipse. It's another portal to pure illusion, one that we will experience next episode. Almost sucked in like a black hole too. They don't have much choice in the matter. It just kind of happens, It's like a storm on the sea as well, maybe. Salt seems kind of worried, I guess. Generally, he seems concerned when they enter. Maybe it's because these guys are getting alerted at the exact same time. You're going to run in with these guys yet again. Now, the thing I wanted to note here is the symbolism of the stray cat. Maybe that has a little bit to do with Yayaka, right? What's Yayaka's family situation like? Why is she doing what she's doing? Is it very similar to Kokona's family situation and that kind of thing, right? Again, I resonate with that stray cat. I resonate with that kind of side of it. And then my job brings me back to reality. This is a thing I have to do to achieve my dreams no matter what, That's the kind of vibe. Again, you two are rainbowing out in the portal, and then I'll never let you go. Big old gayness together, holding hands, that kind of shit. Beautifully animated, though. Looks beautiful. And again, you reciprocate the calls that you'll never let her go, I'll never let you go, never go away. Isn't this a change of heart from the end of the first episode, They're completely and entirely united as they enter the pure illusion here. I don't think they're going to be separated like they were separated upon the start of episode 3. There's been tangible development over the course of the 2 episodes we've watched here today. This show's good. Gets me in my yap bag, which most things do, actually. I just think structurally, really fun. Referentially, the references they pick are really fun. But I think under everything, there's a pretty subtle but pretty well executed character dynamic between these two, and that gets across a larger thematic meaning of art versus science broadly overall, I would say. Industrialism versus nature, all these kind of things fighting as well. Like, lots of stuff. It's great. It's good. It's wonderful. I love it. I look forward to every Flip Flap Thursday. And I will do so until I finish the show, I'm guessing. So yeah, that's where we're at. If you want to watch the next one, it's on Patreon. So look forward to that as well. What else do I normally say? Discord. You can join the Discord and talk to me about the show. It will probably be one next week because I'll be fucking tired. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, let's leave it at that. Thanks for watching this week. I'll catch you again for more Flip Flappers. Loving the show here, of course. And I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.